What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Clippers and Kawhi Leonard in particular, they're cooked. Right? Kawhi just can't stay healthy. His knees are shot. He's gone. Right? Like he already is going to miss training camp, preseason. Who knows how long it'll be before the regular season? And then also he got booted off Team USA because of his knees. They're not getting better. The Clippers lost Paul George for nothing. Clippers are cooked. And Kawhi Leonard, once again, is just unreliable. And it's like, at what point do you just retire if you're Kawhi? Granted, he's making an insane amount of money and doesn't only has to play half the season every year for the Clippers. And the other times he can just kind of hang out and rehab and do what he needs to do. So, for that kind of money, I think most of us would probably be in the same boat. So you could argue that. But it's just crazy to see the spiral in which Kawhi Leonard has gone on, right? And really shows he never should have left the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard left the Spurs because he thought the Spurs were lying and just being deceptive on their medical diagnosis and stuff. And Kawhi Leonard's listening to his Uncle Dennis, right? And Dennis has done nothing but just steer Kawhi wrong, right? I understand Uncle Dennis is like everything to Kawhi, and Kawhi's constantly listening to Dennis, and he's his main confidant. But, Dennis has gotten Kawhi continuously hurt by not trusting the Spurs doctors. Uncle Dennis has gotten Kawhi Leonard investigated by the NBA because Dennis wanted all these perks and benefits that were impermissible by the NBA. And this was back in 2019, right? Like, Uncle Dennis, for Kawhi, just continuously advises Kawhi in the wrong direction. He also was a big part of Kawhi going to the Clippers rather than the Lakers, and Kawhi would have won another championship by now. You just kind of start going down the list of things, and it's like, maybe, just maybe, Kawhi Leonard should have stuck with the San Antonio Spurs and actually listened to what the Spurs had to say. An organization that was coming off of a dynasty at the time, and an organization that was looked at as one of the most respected, pristine organizations in all of basketball. You're their star franchise cornerstone. Why would they try to deceive you? Why would they want to just purposely sabotage you? Right? Like when they told you were healthy and you weren't playing, or you thought you weren't. And then when they tell you you're not, and then you want to go out because you need a contract year, right? And look, you could argue he went to Toronto, won a championship, right? So it was in his interest, but he very well could have probably won one, if not more, with the Spurs. Because if the Spurs had Kawhi Leonard, after all of the Duncan era and all that, you don't think the Spurs would have done everything they could to kind of build a proper team around Kawhi? They still probably get LaMarcus Aldridge, right? So you probably have Kawhi and Aldridge, as well as other complementary pieces. Probably still had Danny Green at that point. That was before he started getting hurt. He won a championship with the Lakers, and he ended up going to Toronto too. So he won a championship with Toronto. But you kind of go down the list, and it's like you would have had a nice core, a nice foundation. You could have put other pieces around Kawhi and likely Aldridge, and been a team that contended and competed for multiple championships, right? But even if he, let's say he did want to leave regardless, right? Let's say he just wanted out of San Antonio, which is always a real possibility. Maybe he doesn't go to Toronto, but maybe he still goes to the Clippers. Would he have been healthier had he just listened to the Spurs? Would he have been, the Spurs invented load management, right? Pop invented load management, right? But for whatever reason, Kawhi Leonard, Uncle Dennis, all these, they just continuously thought, no, Spurs, the organization that just came off a dynasty, didn't do David Robinson or, Tim Duncan or Ginobili or Parker or any of these guys. The guy that didn't do any of these guys wrong, right? Like, and look, there was already commotion, right? Like, you had, Tony Parker was like calling out Kawhi for like sitting out games when he should have played and stuff. And, like it was dysfunctional for a period, for a stretch, but all those guys were fading off anyway. Right? Tony Parker ended up going, where did he go? He went to like the Hornets or whatever, right? Isn't that where he went? You kind of start going down the list of things, and it's just like Kawhi, if he just did the right thing, trusted in Pop, trusted in the Spurs organization, right? Like, things would have been better for him, in my opinion. But he kept taking wrong advice, and now look, now the guy can't stay healthy. Now the guy's knees are shot. He ain't sniffing another championship the way that his body's holding up. He's not getting younger. He's only getting older. And it's crazy because Kawhi is one of the greatest mid-range guys we've ever seen. One of the best defenders in his prime we've ever seen. I mean, this guy had the potential to be one of the greatest two-way players ever. And now he's going to be a really good player that eventually probably fades into irrelevancy at some point. And a lot of it is because he can't stay healthy. He just can't. He's 33. He might as well be 43 in basketball years, right? The way he holds up. I mean, this guy hasn't played 70 games since 2016, 2017. Now, to be fair, last year he did play 68. He averaged 34 minutes a game, right? But once again, got hurt when he needed him the most. But before that, 52 games, 30 games, didn't play at all in 2021, 2022. Then 52 games, 57 games. He played the 60 games in Toronto. And then that year he played the 9 games in San Antonio where everything kind of just went crazy, right? Because he just didn't want to trust in his doctors. He didn't want to trust in the organization and the opinions of hey, we need to strengthen your knee. We need to do this. We need to do that. And he just took it as like, no, you guys are lying. You guys are doing this. Uncle Dennis is in his ear going like, they're just trying to sabotage you, right? Like, don't listen to them. And look, he goes to Toronto. He wins the championship in Toronto, which credit Kawhi. And that's it. I don't see him winning another championship during his career. He's getting his bag. I'd love to see him figure it out. Maybe they're able to figure something out to where he can stay more healthy. I don't know, maybe. But it's disappointing because you just look at Kawhi and what his career could have been had he just trusted the Spurs organization who, again, why would they want to do you wrong? Now, look, there's always the possibility that Kawhi's knees were going to get shot regardless, and that probably would have happened. But he might have been able to get a couple extra years. Maybe he got an extra championship or 2 out of it, right? Maybe be looked at in a different light, in a different perception, rather than a guy that just can't stay healthy, right? You never know. Things change, but things also change rather quickly, If Kawhi stays healthy and him and James Harden are able to figure it out and lead the Clippers to a championship, right? Narrative switches just like that again. And all of a sudden, all the conversation is about how Kawhi is this, that, and the other, right? I just to me is a one of those what ifs, in my opinion. Not even if he didn't win a championship. Like I said, he may have left the Spurs again eventually, but I do think he should have wrote it out with the Spurs, trusted in the Spurs organization, and I think that maybe this story would have been a little different. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think if Kawhi Leonard just trusted the San Antonio Spurs, trusted Greg Popovich, trusted the organization to steer him right, he'd be in a much different situation? Do you think hey, it's just him, it's his body, it would have happened, it was going to happen regardless. This was an inevitability in a lot of ways. Do you think it really is Uncle Dennis, right? Uncle Dennis is the one, because again, Uncle Dennis has gotten Kawhi in some trouble and has put Kawhi in some spots. So, it's just, I get Dennis wants to look out and do what's best for Kawhi, but he's done some stuff that appears like he's trying to lace his own pockets also, right? And it's like, do what's best for Kawhi. But anyway, how do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.